उत्तरस्यां दिशि देवतात्मा हिमालयो नाम नकाधिराजः पूर्वापरौ तोयनैदिव गाह्य स्थितः पृथिव्या इव मानदण्डः परिणेष्यति पार्वतीं यदा तपसा प्रवणीकृतो हरः उपलब्धसुखस्तदा स्मरं वपुषा स्वेन समग्रयिष्यति. So the Saraswati Vak is asking Rati to be very hopeful, because when Shiva is going to marry Parvati again, yada parineshyati haraha tapasa tat pravanikritaha. When Parvati performs a tapas and he is pulled towards her, he will marry her. And upalabdha sukhaha, he will again regain his swasukham. And smaram vapusha svena vapusha samagrayishyati, he will make Manmatha full with his body again. That is, he will be in a form that only Rati sees. So it is predictive in that manner that don't lose hope. You will have to protect the body of Manmatha, whatever is remaining, right? So the next shloka is, we start from the 43rd. Iti chaha sadharmacharini smarashapanta bhavam saraswatim ashanehe amritasya cha ubhayoho vashinaha cha ambudharaha cha yonayaha. Iti cha aha saha Prajapatihi iti aha. So he's the Saraswati Vak, the Akashavani is repeating what happened when Prajapati got attracted towards Saraswati Sandhya, and he cursed Manmatha during that time and said that Manmatha will lose his body. But then he also gave an antam for the Manmatha will be destroyed. So he also gave an antam for that shapa, the end for that shapa. So saha prajapatihi smara shapanta bhavam saraswatim iti ah he dharmacharini iti ratehe atra sambodhanatvena akashavani vadati. So the akashavani is addressing Rati and saying, hey dharmacharini pativrate. So she understands that Akashavani tries to tell her that, yes, you can you can give up your body also along with Manmatha in the funeral pyre, but then there is this shapam which Manmatha had, and there was an anta also spoken of by Prajapati Brahma. So saha Prajapatihi evam iti evam smara shapa antabhavam saraswatim ah. The words that came out of Prajapati were in the form of giving an end to Manmatha's shapa also. So at the same time when his shapam was given, from the same mouth of Brahma, an end to it was also given. That is, a boon was also given. There was both a curse and a boon which came out of his mouth. So the comparison here is Ashanehe amritasya cha ubhayoho yonayaha vashinaha ambudharaha cha bhavanti. Vashi, one who has a control of all his inner senses, control of bahirindriya, antarindriya, vashinaha ye bhavanti te munayaha, and ambudharaha. Ambudhara is megha, clouds. Both can give rise to two things, wherein one is a dukkha-karam, the other is a sukha-karam. So one is in the form of a curse, which is ashani. Ashani pataha is lightning. The fall of lightning is also from the cloud. At the same time, amritasya dhara api. Water also comes from, water is called amritam. Which is because it's like nectar. It is the living source for most of us, right? So Amritam also comes from the cloud. In the same manner, Vashinaha Yonayaha Bhavanti, they become the Utpatti Sthanam for both Ashani, a curse, which is capable of giving Dukkham, and Amritam, which is a Sukha Swarupam. So it's an Arthantrinyasa here. Actually, Deepakam. I think he explains Deepakam here. Vakya Parisamaptim eva darshayati. So the Akashavani's end, the conclusion of the Akashavani is shown in this shloka. So, hey Dharmacharini, I think the Mallinatha's reading is different. He says Dharma Prabhavena or something like that.
Dharma yachitaha is
Yeah,
what it
Dharma
says.
yachitaha. Okay. Dharma yachitaha. Dharma is not Dharma Prajapati. There is another Prajapati called Dharma who is Manu, Dharma Prajapati. So he is in the form of a bull. Sometimes in Kali Yuga, he has only 1 foot. Ityadikantu vartate. So Dharma eva tatra Prajapatim yachate. So he asks Prajapati to give an emendation for the shapam. So here he takes it as Dharmacharini. Saha iti saraswatim ahacha. Saha Prajapatihi he Dharmacharini he pativrate tvat pativratya mahatmyat sarvamapi sambhavyameva. Because you are still a pativrata and you want to join your husband even in his death, so this will definitely happen. Sarvam sambhavyam, everything is possible. So saha Prajapatihi iti purvokta prakarena parineshyati ityadi purvokta prakaram saraswatim vanim aha uktavan. Aha is more like a pratirupaka abhyayam. That is astyadi patavat ting pratirupakam abhyayam idam. So this aha seems like a lit lakara. So it is a lakara pratirupakam. That is, it imitates a thing, padam. Even asti, asmi, ityadikam tu tatra abhyayatvena upayujyate. So you can use them as abhyaya. And here also, aha is actually iti avadat. But usually aha is only in lat lakara. It is not in lit lakara. Brute aha iti. So it should be vadati, whereas here we are talking about an incident which happened long time back when Prajapati created Sandhya. So that is not at the time of when Shiva is going to marry Parvati here, right? So aha cannot is not a latlakara here. So he takes it as a ting pratirupakam avyayam in the sense of uvacha. Cha shabdaha purvokta shaparupa saraswati samuchayartham. Where is the cha here? Sacha, yeah, iticha aha. So he also spoke in this following manner. That is, he first gave a shapa and then he followed it up with the anta bhagam, shapanta bhagam api. Saraswati samuchayar. Ushnatvam agni atapa samprayogat chaityam hi yatsa prakritir jalasya iti nyayena vashinam anugraha sabhavatvam eva darshayati smara shapanta bhavam iti. So usually vashi, a person who has a control of his sense organs, always there is a swabhava their swabhavam is to bless other people. Anugraha rupam athava prasada rupam eva tesham swabhavaha. Anugraha swabhavatvam eva vartate vashinam. Kintu atra shapastu, this is an aberration. It's just a momentary lapse, and because of that they give this curse, whereas their natural state of being is only to be pleased. So he gives an example in the Shridhan Terila. Ushnatvam agnyatapa samprayogat, agni atapa samprayogat, because of agni, fire, and atapa, the sun's heat, ushnatvam etesham samprayogadeva, agni samprayogat, atapa samprayogat. By the effect of fire and sun's heat alone, the water can have ushnatvam, water can have heat. Otherwise, its nature is to be shaityam, it is to be very cool. So the minds of a controlled person is like the water which is always cool. There is no necessity of, there is no, krodha is not a swabhavam for them. So there is an, only when an external thing effect prompts them, they are able to feel that anger. Otherwise, they have that very controlled mind. So, smara shapanta bhavam, smara vishayasya shapasya ante bhavati iti smara shapanta bhava. I think this section is also different, right? Smara Shapa Avadhidam Saraswatim. There are 2-3 reading differences in the last 4 shlokas from Mallinatha. Otherwise, it generally follows the same thing or very slight difference. Here, there is a big difference actually. So, Natu Shapa Moksham Dehi iti Smara Prarthananantara Bhavam. It is not so immediately he gave that Shapasya Antam, the end of the curse, not after he realized his mistake and Manmatha came and requested. So Brahma gave an end to it. Tatha nasti. Usually people when they curse, they just curse and they are gone. They don't even think about it. It is only after some time that they come and ask. For example, you take the example of Parikshit. He was cursed by the Brahmin's son. It is only after he, I think, realized he came that it was Parikshit and the circumstances surrounding it, that he was very hungry and all that, and he did it by mistake. Ityadikam tu tatra anantaram, he understood it only when the sage came out of his meditation and he spoke to his son and told him, listen, this is the situation. Before he even knew about that situation, he just spoke out the curse. Only after he realized the situation, he came and amended the curse, right? He also came and informed Parikshit that this is what happened and all that. Tatha nasti atra. Yataha Prajapatistu tatra vasinam varaha iti. He is a person who has a high control over his sense organs, so he curses and immediately he also retracts it by saying, the moment Parvati is Shiva marries Parvati, he will come back. So Natu Shapamoksham Dehi iti Smara Prarthana Anantara Bhavam. It is not after Manmatha came and asked him, but immediately after he spoke out the curse himself. So Anena Vashinam Prasadasya Swabhavikam Darshitam. Yeah.
Can you just go back? So when you say Smaravishayasya Shapasya Ante Bhavati, Kim Bhavati?
Shapasya Ante Bhavati Smarashapanta Bhava Saraswati iti. The words that happened at the end of Manmatha's Shapa, which was in the form of an Anugraha.
Smarashapa. Where is how are you reading Anugraha here? Smarashapanta Bhava is describing the words, right?
It's describing Saraswati. So what is the Smarashapasya Ante Kidrishi Vakasit Tattu Anugraha Rupena Parvatim Yada Parineshyati iti Purvasmin Shloke Vartate.
Okay. Natu Shapamokshan Dehi Namakim?
So Manmatha did not come and ask him, Shapamoksham Dehi. Iti Manmatha Prajapatim na yachate. He did not go and ask him for, release me from this curse. Even before he went and asked, so even before that, he gave
Brahma
him.
himself, he immediately realized, okay, now
and
I have
amended.
And amended. This is like Valmiki changing his thought.
Valmiki is
he converts it into a shloka. Let it be only a shloka, not to be a curse of Dina.
Yeah.
This is mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like.
Okay. So here, the confusing thing here is when you say or when the author here says Saraswati Maha, and then the story is about Brahma and Saraswati. Incident about Brahma and Saraswati. The word
correct.
Saraswati
That's why you take that as Sandhya instead of Saraswati.
Okay, it is difficult to switch immediately, but yes, I understand. Like here, Saraswati refers to the Vak, not to the goddess. Whereas in the story, there was the goddess. That's a different.
Yeah, it can be confusing. Correct.
Okay, evam.
Ma'am, a quick derivation for that. Shapasya ante bhavati iti shapanta bhava. I always see them in many prayogas, but any pratyaya of there, shapasya.
The bhava, it should be a ghai pratyaya. I don't know.
It's merely a tap, right? Bhava had some quip or something.
Yeah, it's tap like
quip, and then there should be a tap being added to it. That's
something
all.
Like that. Yes. Not ghai and a bhavaha varu. Correct.
It's tip. I got ta, but before that, what is krit pratyaya there?
Quip.
Okay. Okay.
But it doesn't say that. அது வேற ஏதோ ஒண்ணு போட்டிருக்கீங்க. தெரியல.
So Upada, it's basically Upada, right? Shapanta Bhu Bhavaha, right? Shapanta Bhavaha, right? Ach some
भावे अप அப்படின்னு ஏதோ போட்டிருக்க. அப்பிதி பிரத்யயः वर्तते प्रायः.
Shapante Bhavati Sa Bhavati Saha and then Tap.
But Gai Pratyaya usually only gives Pullingam, right? Not Strilingam.
That's why you had Tap, right? For C, you had Tap or you had the C Pratyayas, but you have to direct the previous version, the Pratipadikam first.
இந்த கர மாதிரி ஏதாவது அப்புன்னு வரும், ஐ திங்க். शाप प्रदानानन्तरं कृपालोः परमेष्ठिनः मुखात् परिणेष्यति इत्यादि रूपा सरस्वती च स्वयमेव निर्गता इत्यर्थः. So he explains it. He says, शाप प्रदानानन्तरं, immediately after giving the curse, कृपालोः परमेष्ठिनः, Prajapati being a very dayalu, very merciful, tasya mukhat parineshyati ityadi rupa saraswati. The vak which is of the form of, Parvati will, when Parvati gets married to Shiva, iti swayameva nirgata. It came out automatically without Manmata having to go and ask him. Nanu evam kupitasya prajapatehe tad anantarameva तादृश प्रसाद उदयः कथम उपपद्यते. How can this fit? He was so angry that he cursed, and immediately he himself became very clear from that anger. His mind was totally clear, and prasada gunaha tatra udeti iti katham upapadyate. How is it possible? Iti imam shankam arthantranyasena pariharati. He gives an arthantranyasa for this thing. Arthantranyasam da. Okay. Ashanehe amritasya cha ubhayoho. But I thought this vashi. ஒரு நிமிஷம். தீபகாலங்காரம் இருக்கு. ஓகே ஓகே, இதுலதான். அசனேஹே அமிர்தஸ்ய ச உபயோஹோ வசினஹ அம்புதராஹ ச யோனயஹ. So அசனேஹே வைத்யுத அக்னேஹே, vidyut sambandha agnihi. So the fire which is related to lightning, amritasya jalasya cha ubhayoho vashinaha jitendriyaha ambudharaha megaha yonayaha udbhavasthanani bhavanti. They become the source for both kinds of words or action. अत्र वशी पक्षे तावत् अशनी अमृत शब्दौ दुःख आनन्दकरत्वात् कोप प्रसादयोः लक्षकौ. So because that ashani, lightning, is something that gives dukkam, dukkha karanam bhavati, amrita shabdah cha ananda karanatvat amrita shabdasya kopa prasada lakshakau. So ashani, lightning, which gives dukkam, which is the hetu for dukkam, indicates kopaha. That is the lakshyartha there becomes kopa. And for amritam, the meaning, actual meaning, the vachyartha is jalam, and the lakshyartha, because of the reason of ananda karanam, being a reason for sukham, anandam, it is the lakshyartha is taken as prasada. Because the vashi, a person who is a controlled senses, cannot give rise to both lightning and water here. So you take it as the lakshyartha, which is kopa and prasada. Both anger and pleasing attitude are equally present in a muni.
Is that the lakshyartha which he's taking? Is that the characteristic of the Deepaka Alankara?
Not exactly. Illa. Deepakam vandu, he gives the definition of Deepaka also next.
So
we'll go to that. So inge vandu, he just gives an example from Shakuntalam. Vashinam kopa prabhavatvam cha uktam Shakuntale shamapradhaneshu tapodhaneshu gudam hidahatmakamasti tejaha sparshanukula iva suryakantaha tadanyatejo bhipavad vamanti. Shamapradhaneshu tapodhaneshu satsu. Tapodhaneshu, no, not satsu. So tapodhanaha shamapradhanaha bhavanti. Those people who have tapas, penance, as their wealth are usually, they have an inner control, a control of their mind and sense organs. So teshu tejaha, dahatmakam tejaha, gudham asti. A fire which is capable of destroying everything is present in a hidden manner. Gudham vartate. Sparsha anukulaha iva. An example for that is Suryakanta stone. The Suryakanta stone has the capability of giving out. It's very easy to touch that Suryakanta gem. So I don't know if there is really a gem like that, but in Kavi Samayam we call the Suryakanta's stone as something which gives out fire when the sun's rays fall on it. So sparsha anukulaha bhavanti. It is very easy to touch them, but at the same time, anya tejo abhibhavat. When it is being attacked by another prakasha vastu, like when the sun's rays fall on it, vamanti, they immediately give out sparks. So the tapodhana, the people who have penance as their wealth also, munis also, it is very easy to touch them. That is, they will always be very pleasing. But at the same time, if there is something that insults them, then they are capable of bringing out that inner tejas, which is present inside them, which is hidden, and that is capable of destroying everything. So this is just he supplements his these words from Shakuntala.
So the Shamapradhana refers to the Suryakanta here?
So Suryakanta, actually Shamapradhana is Tapodhanam, so which is the same as the Suryakanta, which is normally it is very easy to touch and wear like a gem and all that.
So they're not two different. Some Shamapradhana is Suryakanta, Tapodhana is the Rishis. It's Oh, okay.
Shamapradhana is an adjective to Tapodhana.
Okay, so it is the Tapodhana. Suryakantam is called Tapodhana because how can it be Tapodhana? Is it because it contains tapaha in it?
No, so take two different things. This is Arthantaranyasam madri, but then it is also Upama here. So eppadi eduthukanona, the sparshanukulaha suryakantaha iva tapodhaneshu api gudham tejaha vartate. Prayaha tatra suryakanteshu api gudham tejaha vartate. Usually it is very easy to touch. அப்படின்னு சொல்றா, பட் நிஜமாவே ஒரு ஸ்டோன்ல வந்து உள்ளுக்குள்ள இருக்காது. It should be the reflection and the sparks that coming out. But he says there is something inside and it just brings out that agni the moment another prakasha comes and touches it. Or yada anya tejasa akramyate tadatu vamanti iti.
Avagatam. So Shamapradhaneshu tapodhaneshu nama Rishishu itinava.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So they are usually Shamapradhanam here is Sparshanukulam.
So in that way it applies to the Suryakanta. He's in parallel between A to B. Okay.
Shamaha inge Sparsha Anukula. So because they are always they have a control of sense organs, here also you can easily touch them. But there is something hidden inside. When do they bring it out? Adu inge sollala. Adukku vandu anya tejo abhibhavat vamanti iti chet tatra you can apply it to both cases.
So
when someone else
So in the Kavi Samaya, the Suryakanta is supposed to be cool to touch and very healing, or say
not healing
properties.
No, appadila illa. Healing properties la illa. It is just easy to touch, but then the moment it comes in, either Chandrakanta and Suryakanta are like that, no, opposites madri. So Chandrakanta stone eppadina, when the moon's rays touch, it produces water. It flows from it. It becomes very moist. Inge vandu the Suryakanta kal just adu vandu the stone emits rays, emits fire.
Got it. So basically,
we can't wear the Suryakanta as a jewel on our body.
அது தெரியல, நீங்க எனக்கு முதல்ல அதை எடுத்து காமிங்க ஒரு போட்டோ, அதுக்கு அப்புறம் பாத்துக்கலாம்.
I think it's like a diamond. Like if you put it in the sunlight, it shines brilliantly as if it's producing fire.
அப்படி வேணா எடுத்துக்கலாம். But what in Kavi Samaya, it is actually fire that comes out, is what they say. So
you can wear it in night.
போட்டுக்கலாம். Suppose there is an Anya Teja which is even more brilliant than it, and it just the spotlight மாதிரி ஏதாவது வந்ததுன்னா அவ்வளவுதான், எரிஞ்சிடும்ல. So I don't know. Now he talks about the Deepakalankara. So atra Vashi Vrittanta Drishtantatvena Aprakritaha Aprakritah ambudhara vrittantah upattah iti Deepakam alankarah. The definition, first we'll go to the definition and then come there. Sakrit vrittihi tu dharmasya. Prakrita aprakrita atmanam. Saeva kriyasu bahvishu karakasya iti Deepakam. So the lakshanam for it is in the first one. Prakrita aprakritanam. So there is a prakrita vrittantam. There is a contextual story, which is the story of a Vashi Muni Prajapati here, which is the context. Aprakrita vrittantam api vartate. Tattu ambudhara vrittantaha. The story of Megham. Okay, both of them here. Now we have to forget the Suryakanta story. Okay, now we have to go back to the original shloka where he says both the lightning and water comes from the cloud. In the same way, kopa and prasada comes from the vashi. So sakrit vrittihi dharmasya. Dharma appears only once and it lightens up both the prakritam and the aprakritam. So this is the definition for Deepaka Alankara. இது வந்து தமிழ்ல நம்ம ரேழியில வச்ச வழக்கும்போம். ரேழியில வைக்கிற வழக்குன்னா you light up a lamp and keep it at the entrance of a house. It will light up both the inside of the house and outside of the house. So what is prakritam and aprakritam? Both are being lighted up by just one dharma. So here the dharma of what is that? Ashani and Amritam. Iti ubhayoho yonitvam tu ubhayoho udbhavasthanatvam is the dharma that is common to both the Prakrita Vashi Vrittantam and the Ambudhara Vrittantam. Yeah.
One more time, Modi. What is the common?
Almost sounds as the upama only, right? Like whatever the example you said, guna dosha ubhuta granhan. Like there also it's almost same. I thought it's upama initially.
It seems like upama, but in that so அது எப்படி அவ டிஃபரன்ஸ் சொல்றான்னா
that bimba pratibimba in recent of one of your classes.
Yes, there also you can say bimba pratibimba bhavam is prakrita aprakrita, but each one has a different thing there, no? Gunadosho
contrasting dharma ரெண்டு வித தர்மம் இருக்கிறதுனாலயா
எங்க
அந்த தீபக அலங்காரம் சொல்றேன்னா two different dharmas are being
actually it's the same dharma here.
Amritam and Ashani இருக்கு இல்லையா
ரெண்டுமே வந்து it is for the cloud இல்லையா I think I'm getting feedback from you. ரெண்டுமே is actually for the cloud. Ashani lightning is with respect to the cloud and Amritam is also with respect to the cloud. It is only Kopa and Prasada which are with respect to the idu. Anga in Upama Guna Doshau Grinnan Induk Shvedau Iva. So there are two dharmas being mentioned for both each one. Yeah. In Upama, in Gunadosha Budo Grinnan, Buddha Gunam Dosham cha Grinnhati. Whereas Ishvaraha Indum Shvedam cha Grinnhati. Iti tatra natu sakrit vrittaha dharmaha. Ubhayatrapi dharma bhinnatvam vartate. Upamayam.
Okay. And
You understand?
here it's same dharma.
It is the same thing that is lighting up both the prakritam and the aprakritam.
One more time. How is it binna? How is it binna?
Edula? Ingella. Gunadosho budho grinnan indukshveda viveshwarahala. The dharma is different there.
When you say dharma, you mean the
Sadhana dharma.
Because when you say guna for the Buddha,
you use different words.
And for Ishvara Gunaha, we use a different word. Therefore, so we have Abhedadhyavasaya going over there. We don't have the phenomenon here.
No, that phenomena is not here. Here only one portion's dharma is given. எனக்கு அதனால இது வந்து this can happen with kriya, this can happen with karaka, it can happen with many different things. That commonality between prakritam and aprakritam can happen because of kriya or different types of karaka.
Here in this example, what is the commonality?
இதோ இங்க இருக்கே அந்த எக்ஸாம்பிள் இது ஸ்லோகத்துக்கு
Yonitvam va.
யா
Yonitvam.
யோனித்வம் ஏவ தத்ர इति
Yonitvam. Kayoho yonitvam. Okay.
अशनेः अमृतस्य च योनयः भवन्ति
परन्तु अशनेः इति मेघविषये तु साक्षात् अशनिः एव, परन्तु वशिनः विषये तु तत्र
कोपलक्ष्यार्थ
ah,
it is not the vachyartha, so lakshyartha only.
Lakshyartha.
See, it is the same dharma. One more difference, 1 minute. There is no eva here, there is no
There is
upama
no eva.
vachaka shabda here.
That can be an that's
Luptopama illa.
No.
That cannot be there. Atrata cha iti asti khalu, so you can't have it as luptopama also there.
Okay, so we don't have where we have guna and then we have induk shveda. We had two different words there. Here we have only one word which we are interpreting differently.
Yes.
Right. So in that sense, it's the Deepakam. I mean,
Yes.
that's what is being said by the Lakshya, by the Kavalya and the Kara.
It is a karaka deepakam. So because it is the ashanehe amritasya cha yoni. It can also be yoni. So the yonitvam iti tatra dharmaha eva sakrit vrittaha iti. Okay.
I will fail in exam if this was given. I will just keep it to Upama blindly.
Finding out alankaras and trying to decide which alankara it is, someone asked me, I think Shankari, is there an app to determine which alankara is there? I said, no way. App எல்லாம் எழுதவே முடியாது இதுக்குன்னு.
AI பண்ண முடியுமான்னு கேட்கணும் next. அது கூட definitely பண்ண முடியாது.
I don't think so. It comes out wrong.
Yeah. I mean, we ourselves require a lot of thinking and it's contextual depending on the person who's interpreting as well, right?
Yes,
And
it does.
how
One
we understand
Vyakhya, in the Mrichakatikam, or if you take certain more difficult texts, adla vandu you take up 3 different Vyakhyanams, each one will give you different alankaras. And their justification, see, in their mind, they justify it in the following manner, using one kind of definition. Everybody across the board doesn't have the same definition. It is not like meter definition.
Right.
No?
Right.
Meter definition is just same across the board. Anybody writes another new Chando Alankara text, they will use the same lakshanas. But the Alankaram definition is so different from one Alankarika to another Alankarika. How can you... Sanda da nadakkum.
Even in this sloka itself, I thought, why not Shlesha?
அதான் ஸ்லேஷ எப்படி வரும்? இதுல வந்து ஒரே வேர்டுக்கு டபுள் மீனிங் வரணுமே, வராதே. எங்க வருது இல்லையா?
Even the Ashani சொல்றச்ச, I was thinking Ashani could be the Shapa and Amrita would be the Ashirvada.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Okay.
ஆமா, கரெக்ட் தான். But then it's not a double meaning, no? Ashani iti amare tatra shapaha iti nasti.
Nasti. Contextually we have to derive it.
So you use lakshana there. Allah. Iti chaha sa dharmacharini स्मरशापान्त भवां सरस्वतीं अशनेर अमृतस्य च उभयोः वशिनः च अम्बुधराश्च योनयः. Okay. Arthantarasyapi Arthantaranyasa is also there, so it is a Sankara. That's fine.
How is it there, Arthantaranyasa?
Arthantaranyasamna or lokokti madri thane. It's in general people behave in this manner. Samanyatvena tatra vashi vrittantaha tu samanyam vartate, prajapati vrittantaha visheshaha. So samanyena vishesha samarthanam bhavati.
Okay, so forgive me for repeating. So Sankara would mean the Nirakshira Bhava.
Sankaraha vandu ama Nirakshira Bhava.
Nirakshira Bhava. Okay, got it.
तदिदं परिरक्ष शोभने भवितव्य प्रिय संगमं वपुः आपि वीतजला तपात्यये पुनरोघेन हि युज्यते नदी. Mallinatha's reading is so much better here. Ravi pita jala ityasti, so which is easier. Inge vandu takes a little bit of an explanation here. Okay, so hey Shobhane, Shobhane actually is an address to Rati here, saying she has not lost her husband, but she is just in viraha. So it gives a hope for her when he says Shobhane, one who is Mangala iti, Mangala Rupa. So Shobhane, tad idam bhavitavya priya sangamam vapuhu pariraksha. Pariraksha, protect this body of your husband, which is this body is the bhavitavya priya sangamam, wherein you will be rejoined with your husband because this body will come back to life. So protect this body really well. Api vita jala tapa atyaye punaha oghena hi yujyate nadi. Nadi which has lost all its water, vita jala, visheshena ita jala, itam gatam iti. So the waters that have completely dried up in a nadi because of tapa atyaye, because of extreme summer, it has to be refilled only with the flow of water. That is, you need this body. Only then will you again be united with your husband. Bhavitavya sangamam. Sangamam tu bhavitavyameva katham atra asmin yadi idam vapuhu vartate tadaeva atra sangamam bhavishyati. If the track of the river is not even there, then where will the water flow? So you need that the river track to be maintained intact, so that the flow can come again and fill up the river and make it into a river again. So vita tapa atyaye, vita jala, when because of extreme summer, when after that summer is gone, tapa atyaye, grishma kalasya atyaye sati, when it is gone, vita jala nadi punaha again oghena yujyate, it will again be refilled, or it will be again connected with the flow. Oghaha is more like a flow of water or the fullness of water. Vyakyanam padichinundru. It's itham madanasya pratyapattim upapadya kartavyameva aha. Pratyapatti is again she will attain Manmatha back. So after talking about the return of Manmatha, he says what she has to do. The Akashavani says what Rati has to do. Kartavyam aha. Shobhane iti samagra guna sampanne, one who has all the qualities. So anena amantranena madanena vinakrita ratihi iti shlokena tvaya purvoktam vachaniyam api etadrisha guna vishishtayam tvai. So even though you said that I am nobody because Manmatha is not there with me, Madanena Vinakrita Ratihi, Rati who is now bereft of Manmatha, iti yat purvam taya eva uktam, tvaya purvoktam, vachaniyam, it is only a rumor. Api etadrisha guna vishishtayam tvai, you still have so much of good qualities in you. Tasmadeva dharmacharini iti purvam yatra sambodhanam asita tattu atra sanghatate, right? You don't need to change it into, I like that dharmacharini word instead of dharma yachitaha. So tvai niravakasha niravakasham eva tvai tad vachaniyam madanena vinakrita ratihi iti vachaniyam tu nirakritam. She niravakasham, there is no space for thinking about all that because you have all of those qualities in you. Shobhane iti tat yasmat tvat priyatamasya dehalabhaha avashyam bhavi tasmat. Because you are definitely going to get your beloved's body, hence because of that I'm calling you Shobhana iti. Idam samagra guna aspadatvam eva drishyamanam vapuhu, this body, idam, the katham tatra samagra guna aspadam iti, I don't know. I guess it is not completely into bhasma. Probably it still has the shape of the body with bones and all that. I'm not sure how the form of the body is still there, or just a charred form is there, right? And that's how we have to assume. So samagra guna, aspadam is sthanam. Samagra gunanam sthanatvena drishyate idam vapuhu. Manmathasya vapushi saundaryam vartate.
Hold on, Mohdey. I was thinking when we say that we are calling her Shobana, and then
Yes.
this commentator is saying that etadrisha guna vishishtayam tvayi.
Mm.
All these brilliant gunas are in
Yes.
you, Rati, right?
Mm.
So Samagra Gunaspada is Rati then.
Drishyamanamman irukku. So immediately he now shifts focus to the body also and says, listen, this body is also having such full qualities here. So you have to protect it. Iti. Because it is Manmatha. He is also the best among the men.
Isn't he talking about her own body? You have to protect your own body because Rati is in a suicidal track.
அப்படி இருக்கா?
அப்படி நான் நினைக்கிறேன்.
இருக்கலாம். இருங்கோ. I thought it was இதம் பரிரக்ஷ வபுஹுங்கர்ச்சு அவளோட பாடியை சொல்றதா அது?
ஆமா, அப்படி நான் நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன்.
But that is not saying manam, right?
You wait.
இல்ல ரைட் தான். இல்ல, I think that's right. I was thinking of இத நீ இது பண்ணிக்கோ அப்படின்னு சொல்றான்னு நினைச்சேன்.
Don't lose heart. Don't go and distract. Just protect yourself. You sangamam bhavati eva iti.
No, that makes sense. Actually, that also makes sense. Let me just look at what he's saying. Idam vapuhu pariraksha bhavishyat priya sangamaha yasya tattatha. இவர் அப்படியே எல்லாம் ஸ்பஷ்டம் நடுவார். மல்லிநாதா எவ்ரிதிங் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் ஸ்பஷ்டம். இங்க பேர் அதுக்கு மேல ஓகே ஒண்ணும் இல்லைங்க.
What Mahodaya is saying?
No, idam vapuhu iti kasya athava kasyaha vapuhu iti. So is it Manmatha's body that you have to protect, or is it your own body that has to be protected by you? Do not go and commit suicide along with your husband iti.
Her body makes more sense, right?
More sense, no? Yeah, it does make more sense.
So then why is it not saying your body? Why is he saying idam body?
Idam vapuhu iti puro drishyamanam vapuhu. What I see in front. Shobhane iti uktva, you are filled with so much of good qualities. Your body is also so beautiful. Protect that body. Your mind is somewhere else. Your mind wants to go to Manmatha, right? But your body is still intact and you have to protect it so that Manmatha can come and again, you can feel that union. இல்லையா? அதுக்காக தானே வச்சுக்க சொல்றா. கரெக்ட் தான். ஆமா, அதனால்தான் நதின்னு உபமான பக்ஷே அப்படி நதி இது ஸ்திரீலிங்க பதம் வர்த்ததே. So it makes more sense. Oh yeah, okay. So idam samagra guna aspadattvena drishyamanam vapuhu, Rati's body which is seen to be filled with so much of gunas. And it is the sthanam for all of the gunas, all of the qualities. Pariraksha, paritaha samantat raksha, protect it. Shita upacharadibihi surakshitam meva kuru. Shitopacharam is viraha tape shitopacharaha kriyate. When your body is completely heated up because of love and separation, then you have to cool down your body and protect your body so that tatra manmatha avasthayam tu it doesn't go to the last stage of maranam. So sahasa dehatyagena priyasangama utsavam ma parityaja. You will if you let go of this body, then you will not be able to come back to Manmatha. परिरक्षणीयत्वे हेतुम् आह भवितव्य प्रियसंगमम्. भवितव्यः अवश्यं भावी प्रियसंगमः, प्रियेण भर्त्रा संगमः. So definitely this body is going to be the vehicle for priyasangamam, to join with him. So tattu avashyam bhavi ityeva, it is definitely going to happen. Priyasangamasya avashyam bhavitvam eva upapadayati. So he gives an example for that. Vita jala api nadi tapa atyaye punaha oghena yujyate. Vita jala, vitani visheshena itani, visheshena itani gatani, ina gatau dhatu. Yeah.
Oh, this Vitaraga, everything is same like that.
Ella same, yes. Vitaraga, bhaya, krodha.
So we upasarga in gatau dhatus and then nishtha pratyaya. Okay.
Vitani gatani jalani yasyaha sa, a river from whom the waters have already dried up. So tapa atyaye grishmakala avasane, at the end of summer, ushmagamaha tapaha. Tapaha is ushnaha or grishmakala. So tapa atyaye. Atyayam is also crossing of when it is over. Anena priya viyogasya iva priya sangamasyapi kalasya iva hetutvam dyotyate. So there is a time, just as how there is a time for viyoga, separation from your beloved, at the same time there will be a time where you will also be with him. So priya sangamasyapi kalasya iva hetutvam. Time, you'll have to wait patiently for that time. Punah punaha api ityartha. Punaha punarapi ityartha. Sure. Okay. Is equal. Sometimes in the newer editions have this is equal to and they give the meaning, right? It's so much easier.
Yeah, it's so much easier. Yeah.
Our mind is so conditioned to read it like that.
Yeah. Ogena equal to pravahena and sonna avlo easier nalla irukum padikirukku.
ஆமால நான் எழுதுறச்சு அப்படிதான் எழுதுறேன். Ogena pravahena, with the flow of water. Natu jalamatrena kintu ogena. It's not just a trickle of water that comes down, but just gushes down, right?
Amara gives it as ambhasam rayaha. Rayaha means gushing on it?
Yeah, rayaha is speed.
Oh.
Mallinatha gives that?
No, in Amara Kosha it says that ambhasam raye.
Oghaha iti. Yes. Ambhasam rayaha is the force of water. Rayaha is usually vegaha.
So is oga only for liquids? We can't do for solids?
Panlame. Sollame.
Oga of gold.
Everything is possible in the Kavi's world, right? In the world of the Kavi, you can have it.
Yeah, this is not idu madri illa, quantity, quality, and the madri you can't define ogha as only for solids or liquids. It's possible for anything.
Okay.
Guna ogha ityasti. Adu enna define pandrathu? Can you define it as solid or liquid? What is guna? Guna oghaihi ityasti. Anena purvakritanam anubhavanam api purvavadeva pratyapattihi suchita. So the water of the river, just as how it flows in the same manner as it did before, the same way your life will also be in the same manner. The manner in which you attain him, or the manner in which you will experience Manmata, will be the same as before. Purvavadeva pratyapattihi. Pratyapattihi is again you will attain him. Praptihi iti. Punah praptihi. Yujyate sanyukta bhavati. What is this yujyate? Kimartham tatra?
It's in the shloka.
Shloka.
Mola padam. Mola shloke.
Punar oghena hi yujyate. It samyukta bhavati. Okay. It gets connected with the flow of water. Hi shabdaha upapadakatva dyotakaha prasiddhi vachi. Upapadakatvana upapattihi. That is, this fits properly. This is correct. That is in conclusion madri solrom. When we use evam upapadyate eva, it is appropriate in this manner, right? Iti hi shabdaha upayujyate. Or prasiddha vachi api. Iti shruyate eva. Prasiddha tu ayam vrittantaha iti. Sadrishya nimittaha arthantranyāsaha atra alankaraha. So the arthantranyāsa is the alankara here. There is a big discussion of whether it is aprastuta prashamsa or prativastu upama or arthantranyāsa, but he concludes this entire thing is just a discussion of that. But his conclusion here is sadrishyena, because of similarity, there is a arthantranyāsa in this shloka.
It is a bit confusing because now I was just after reading Deepakam, my mind is filled with Deepakam, and I'm wondering, why can't this be a Deepakam?
Why can't it be a Deepakam? Let's go back to the shloka here. Vita jala tapa atyaye punar oghena hi yujyate nadi. This is a separate sentence here.
Yes.
Atra idam vapuhu bhavitavyam bhavitavya priyasangamam idam vapuhu pariraksha. Done. This is something totally unconnected with this. Where is the common quality that is तत्र दीपकत्वेन प्रकृतवृत्तान्तस्य दीपकत्वेन अप्रकृतवृत्तान्तस्य दीपकत्वेन किम् अत्र वर्तते?
Sangamam.
That Sangamam is only for Rati Vrittanta. That Sangamam is not here. Yujyate iti asti atra. Oghena yujyate. Atra tu priya Sangamam iti asti. So there are two different words that are being used. That is why he starts the question, he has this doubt about Prativastu Upama. In Prativastu Upama, it is the Samana Dharma, but the Samana Dharma is being represented by different Padam. Vastu Prativastu Bhavaha Vartate. Which is a closer kind of Alankara and not Deepakam. Because for Deepakam, you need only one word, which is a connector.
Like in the previous example, we had
Ashani Yonitvam.
Yonitvam. I see. So here there's no such connector. Okay, fine.
The Samana Dharma are represented by different words.
Okay, and if it was Aprastuta Prashamsa, where we are doing the Prashamsa means Kathanam. Kathanam of the
Aprastutam. Nadi is the Aprastutam. Okay.
Okay.
But then Prastutam api atra vidyate eva. Aprastuta prashamsayam kevalam aprastutasya prashamsa vartate. Prastuta vrittantastu tatra vyangyatvena drishyate.
Okay. So tarhi kim atra alankara?
Arthantaranyasah.
Tavadeva. Okay.
Samanyena or visheshena vishesha samarthanam arthava samanyena samanya samarthanam. That is why he says sadrishya moolakam arthantaranyasah. So there is an underlying upama here between Rati and Nadi, which gives rise to the arthantaranyasa, samarthanam. So you have to protect this body. How does he justify that protection of the body? By saying, you know how this Nadi behaves? We need that form of the Nadi, and so that the flow comes and connects with it again. So there is a samarthanam part using a sadrishyam, using the upamana. But there is no eva shabda to connect and say that there is upama in the vachyartha.
So, okay, fine. That's fine. But at a deeper level of meaning, wouldn't it be like as soon as the just like how tapatya, when the heat of the summer ends, when the kopa of Shiva ends, and then when passion arises again, then you will get back Manata will get back the body.
Correct.
So it's a reference to Shiva, the change of state of Shiva as well.
Yes. So that is why he says sadrishya moolakam tatra. Sadrishyena eva kintu arthantaranyasah bhavati yataha samarthanam bhavati. The first part doesn't even talk about Shivas and everything, no? The story of that. Your explanation comes in the tatparya level.
Yes. But it doesn't tie to the alankara when you say tapatye, vita jala. Vita jala means the lack of passion. Now it's ignited again, and when then punarogaha happens.
Yes.
And then so isn't there a link between the arthantaranyasa is using and the state of affairs of Shiva?
Correct.
So okay.
Correct na. So that sadrishyam is what we need.
Okay.
So that sadrishyam starts off in the tatparya level. It is there in the tatparyam level. That is why you are able to do the samarthanam in the vachya level.
Okay.
So since the samarthanam comes in the vachya level, you call it as arthantaranyasa.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Why didn't we read about Luptopama, Purnopama and all? Why didn't we read Vastu Prativastu?
Inimedan varum.
It will come?
Prativastupama. No, we still have 45 more to go.
Oh, it is coming. Okay, nice.
Varum.
Ma'am, when you are taking this class?
That one is also same time only. You'll have to wake up for 2 more days at 2:30 and 3:30. Mondays and Wednesdays. No, Tuesday and Thursday your time. Yeah. If you want to, I can put you onto that group also, but then it will be too much.
I'll be work from home on those 2 days, like so I can do it.
Okay, if you can, then I'll send you the link. You can join.
Ma'am, do we have any proper like Tarka level definitions of all these alankaras? Because when we remember them, right, it will be very much tuned.
Rasagangadhara. You
We
have
have
to
all-
read Rasagangadhara at some point to understand all that and then apply it.
Do we have that Rasagangadhara in the syllabus?
No,
very-
No.
it's a very, very tough text. So,
Isn't Tarka and Kavya automatically opposed to each other?
but
It's the
that's
same.
where he stands, no? Where two opposing characters like Amritasya Ashanehe cha Vyonitvam itivat तत्र
Opposites
तर्कस्य साहित्यस्यापि उद्भवस्थानं रसगङ्गाधरः.
I think they'll have the precise definitions without any confusion.
Definitely. Yeah. His logical approach to everything is also very beautiful. It's a pleasure to read the text, but at the same time, it's also taxing in certain. It's a challenge. So if you like challenges, then Rasagangadhara is very beautiful.
But Kumārasambhava is actually good enough if you want a lower level of definitions. If you want a list of definitions, Kumārasambhava gives you a list of definitions for each alankara.
You need Kuvalyananda. Only then you can understand Rasagangadhara. அவர் எதை அட்டாக் பண்றாருன்னு தெரியணும்ல. You need to understand what is the basics of Kuvalyananda, and then you move on to Kavya Prakasha for a little more detail. You also understand the Prataparudriyam, but that Alankara section is total confusion in Prataparudriyam. It's better with the Kavya Prakasha and Kuvalyananda. Then you move on to Rasagangadhara so that you have a solid grounding of all the basics, and then he will say everything is wrong. You'll understand.
Dhvanyaloka did not come into picture. It's some other text.
So Dhvanyaloka is a thesis. It's like a thesis on Dhvani. So you don't take it as a it's not a Lakshya Lakshana Grantha kind of text. It is a thesis on Dhvani.
And Chitrabhimam?
I've never read that text, so I'm not sure about it. He does give examples for everything, but all of those Rasagangadharakara just says, it's not wrong. Ellathukkum play. Or red mark potente vandruvar.
That's the draft work of Kulyananda.
Illa, adu appuram vandadu.
It's advanced actually.
Advanced.
More advanced.
That talks about Dhvani and all. Kulyananda only talks about Alankaras. There he talks about Uttama Kāvyam, Madhyama Kāvyam, Adhakama Kāvyam and all, how Dhvani comes about. It's a more analytical work, Chitramimamsa.
Oh.
And he wrote it later, and it's also not available fully. So he probably passed away before he could finish that work. You don't know.
But to go